Now then, welcome back to another one. Today we're talking about this little beauty, the Canon EOS 200D or Rebel SL2. Now this came out in 2017, but it's got some fantastic specs in it, so we're going to have a walk around. As you can see, this path is completely lined with bluebells. There's some smaller white flowers that I saw on the path on the way in, so we're going to get some photographs, I'm going to show you some video, and then you can decide whether you should be looking at this camera in 2022. Alright, so before we get into the images, for all of you who are looking at this camera as a potential vlogging camera or video camera, you're looking at it right now. It looks awesome. I've got the shotgun mic on the top because this has its own mic input. I've got the flippy out screen, flippy out touch screen no less, all the way out. I can see myself perfectly. It's really, really good. Not only that, all of the B-roll you've just seen was shot with this camera. So, I'm going to set up over there, I'm going to switch the cameras back around, and I'm going to get this first image. So, let's get into that. Alright, so my image is just down here. I'm using this bluebell right here as kind of a frame for one that's further back. I've got the Canon set up just out of shot. I'm using the Sigma 70-300 and I'm shooting at about 150mm. But let's jump over to the camera and I'll show you exactly what's going on.
Alright, I hope this has focused okay. This is the composition I'm looking at. I just like the way that these out of focus flowers in the foreground kind of framed this one flower. Now, this little bit at the top here, this kind of nothing space, I'm probably going to crop a little bit of that out, maybe make this a 4:3 ratio image. Settings are very simple. I'm shooting at about 150mm, 1/50th of a second, f4.5 and ISO 100.
So with that image out of the way, I've got another one already in my mind. There's a big gnarly old tree right at the top of the path there, and it's got some white flowers and some of these bluebells right at its base. And if this light cracks, I think it'll make a good image, and if not, I've always got my LCD panels. The rat. I feel like I'm under attack. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about this camera. 24 megapixels, it's got the dual pixel autofocus and the Digic 7 processor. It's also got fully articulated touchscreen, it's got its own mic input, which makes this a really good vlogging camera. It'll do 1080p video up to 60 frames a second. Now, this doesn't have picture profiles for video, C-Log or anything like that, but if you stick it in a neutral profile and bring down the sharpness and bring down the contrast, you get a really nice flat look that you can do a little bit too in post-production. So you're going to see the B-roll from this video. It's going to be taken with this. I'm going to shoot all of the B-roll with this camera, so you're going to have an idea of what is possible with it. I'm hearing this rustling and it's like right down there, and I'm not going to lie, it's freaking me out. It's a rat. I don't want to die. Alright, so let's wrap up here, pack the bag up, go back over to that tree, and let's try and work on that second image. Hopefully this light is going to break, and we're going to get something good. Now, for any of you who've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that I really enjoy using the Helios 44 lens. It's a 58mm vintage lens. The ones I've got are both on M42 mount. And that was part of my reason for going to mirrorless in the first place. Now, Canon has a relatively short flange distance between the mount and the sensor, which means that they too can use these vintage lenses. So I have with me an EF to M42 adapter and the Helios 44-2. So after I get this image, I'm going to try and get something with the Helios. Alright, so this is said tree and said patch of flowers. As you can see over here, these lovely little white flowers are amongst these few bluebells. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the white flowers rather than the bluebells and really try and make them pop. What I want now is I want this light to come back, but at the minute it looks like the cloud is probably getting worse. But I do have, like I already said, my little LED lights with me, so if it comes to it I will set up one of those just to shine a little bit into this dark area where these flowers are. So let's get the camera set up and let's get this shot. Alright, so I'm here, I've got the camera set low to the ground. Again, I'm using the Sigma 70 to 300, and I've just got a circular polarizer on there just to really make the colour pop, and also to cut out glare if the light comes back. I don't think it's coming back. I'm fairly certain I've already felt spots of rain. So I'm going to get this one sorted, but before I do that, let's talk quickly about some alternatives to this camera. Realistically, the A6000, what I'm shooting this video with, is pretty similar in specs, 24 megapixels, 1080p video, etc. The Nikon D5600 is also quite comparable. I would guess like the Fuji X-T3 maybe, kind of thing. Although I'm not sure on the specs on that one. But when this came out, it was labelled as one of the smallest, lightest DSLRs on the market, much like its predecessor, the 100D. Although, different to its predecessor, this has the dual pixel autofocus, more megapixels, it's gone from 18 to 24 in this one. Also the Digit 7 processor makes everything just that little bit snappier and a little bit faster. It's a really good camera. I'm really happy with the images that come out of this. And it is actually raining. So I'm going to work on this image. I'm back with you in a sec. So that image was not easy. The light wasn't playing ball at all. I finally got there. Hope you enjoyed that image. But do you remember just a little bit back, I said I wanted to find an image so I could use this Helios 44-2 on the Canon and try and get something that's going to give me that nice Helios swell. Now, I found a composition. I don't think I'm getting the swell, but I'm definitely getting this shot. Problem is, I've only got one battery for this, and the battery died. So we had some of the third-party ones, and honestly, not fantastic. Definitely, if you're going to buy replacement batteries, buy either reputable third-party ones or just buy Canon ones, because the ones that we had were absolutely awful. Anyway, with that said, let me switch to the Osmo so that I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Here you see this little kind of pinky red spiky boy with the needles coming out of it. That is my subject. I've set it up already and I've played around a little bit. I've tried to get the swell, but it just doesn't really work. I think it's partly because the light is so flat, but it's still a nice image. So as soon as the battery is charged back up, I'm going to get that shot, and you will see it right now. Alright, I really hope you enjoyed that one. I have just found another composition behind me. I really wish that light would come back though, because this would look awesome with some of that like dappled sunlight on it. I'm hoping, I'm going to take the shot anyway and I'm going to come back to it, and I'm hoping I get the light before the bluebells go away, because these things don't stick around for long. So who is the Canon 200D or SL2 for? Now, if you believe the internet, it's for upper enthusiasts, whatever the hell that is. Personally, I don't like those labels. These cameras, in the hands of somebody capable, will take fantastic pictures. You stick great glass on here, you're going to get even better pictures. This is all of the camera many people will need. It's got 24 megapixels, it's got great autofocus, and Canon has an absolutely phenomenal range of lenses. So you're never going to be stuck, no matter what it is you want to do with this camera. Now, regarding low light performance, I haven't tested it. This is actually my wife's camera, so I don't really use it a lot, but I am going to make a video at night with this camera and the 50mm f1.8, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Now, another benefit to a DSLR over a mirrorless camera, and it's a small thing, but in a situation like this right now, it's actually quite beneficial. This currently has no battery in it, but I was still able to eye up my shot, figure out my composition because I'm just looking straight through a mirror and straight through the lens. You cannot do that with a mirrorless camera like this A6000. It's just not possible. Anyway, little quirk, but it's one I like and it's one that's very useful. So I'm going to wait for that battery and then I'm going to talk you through this image. Alright, so let's have a look at what we've got going on the back of the camera. I hope you can see it alright. We've got this fallen branch. It's quite a large thing and it's kind of coming in from this bottom corner and snaking all the way through the image and right out of the top. It's surrounded in this top third by these bluebells and I really do wish we had some light on that. Settings are 1/10 of a second, f9 and ISO 100. Alright, I hope that sheds a little bit of light on what is possible with this Canon 200D or SL2. It's a fantastic little camera, and if you're in the market for an APS-C body that's got great resolution, great autofocus and decent enough video features for most people's use, the Canon 200D is a very good option. So I'm going to leave you with some random images that I've captured while I've been wandering around and the video camera hasn't been on. So I hope you really enjoy those. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button if you did enjoy this video. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know every time a video drops. The free presets are linked below, as are the socials. So hit me up on Instagram or Twitter and I will see you in the next one.